Hey folks, so I'm getting a little bit of an update here. I've made a video like this about 3 or 4 times now, and I can't use them because every time I make a video something changes and it's no longer valid. So I update and then things change again. So I have a bit of a dilemma at the moment. On the front of the Monster, at the bumper, and it attaches on the inside, underneath, and then there's a little bit that comes out, and then the bumper itself on a bit of an angle. So I got a screen cap of, I went through my videos to see what I could find, anytime I've showed the bumper when it wasn't attached, so I could actually get that angle. Now the problem is, let me just show here. I'm not sure if I've showed this already or not. I think I have. I don't know. I've made so many videos that I haven't used, so I don't know. But my agriculture collector here, these little parts sticking out. This is the main part where it's attached, and you got these little parts sticking out, and the bumper is attached on an angle like this. So, just so you know what it is I'm talking about. So, in order to get the length of those little extensions, I need this part that I cut off because it's got the rest of those extensions on. So I want to match them up and find out how long they have to be. Unfortunately, I can't find that part that I cut off. That's the issue I'm having. I've looked everywhere. So I'm going to look again today, but I do have something else that I need to do now. Because before I go out, I turn the strobe light on. I look behind me. I look to see if it's flashing. And it was working yesterday. It's not working today. So while I was out, I stopped down at the river. I took a look. I am missing some wires. And where are they? I don't see them anywhere. So I'm gonna have to do some searching here. I don't know, guys. That's the only thing I can think, because it doesn't work at all, and I don't know where the rest of that would be. Hello.
Hi.
So I'll be back. Okay, so I kind of got interrupted there. The neighbor next door here is asking about our housing situation, how it's going. So I will update on that in a bit. And I'm looking here. I don't know how well you can see it, but if I zoom in a bit, you can see the back tires are not straight up and down. So I'm not sure if it's both of them. Not sure how well you can see it, but the one on the left actually looks like it's leaning in at the top. The one on the right maybe is okay. Oops, sorry. I wasn't looking at the camera, I was looking at the tires. But I did notice when I was out today, when I was crossing the bridge, I was getting noise from the one on the left. I can't really tell, but I don't know. Because there was a little bit of movement there, but when I put the bolts in, it seemed to stop it, but it's obviously there because it's making noise, and it should not make noise at all. It should be dead silent, no movement, no grinding noise. So I gotta I gotta deal with that. Otherwise, I'm gonna wear that hub down as well. Zach told me I can use his tools, because the one on the other side that I couldn't get out, I broke my ratchet wrench on. He's got his pry bars, or not pry bars, his, I don't remember what they're called. Those big long ones there. He said I could use those. The problem is they're 3/4 inch. I don't have any 3/4 inch sockets. He does apparently. So I can use that. I'm just worried about that bolt breaking, because if I snap the head off of that bolt, then I'm screwed. I cannot drive the monster until I get a new transaxle. Oh my goodness. So I haven't got any new perch yet. They are on the way. I just haven't got them yet. But today, apparently, I have to take that big heavy seat off. It's just too hot in the garage here. I'm going to work outside here. Even though I'm going to be working in the sun, it's actually cooler because there's a very nice breeze today. And I'm going to see if I can find out where those wires went to. And hook them back up again. And I don't know if I accidentally put them on backwards. Is it going to cause an issue? I just don't know at this point in time. But, yeah, to me, that strobe light's important. I gotta have that working. Not exactly what I had planned for today. And I still gotta find the other piece of my bumper. I don't have a clue where it is. I've looked everywhere in here. I did not throw it out because I knew I was gonna need it. I knew I was gonna, need to get the length of those. I've checked everywhere. I took everything out of this basket. I restarted a garbage bag. I took everything out by hand, a little at a time, out of one bag and refilled into this one. Just in case it accidentally made its way into the garbage. It's not there. It's not in there. It's not in there. I have not checked in this basket yet, but it shouldn't be in there. It should be here. But I gotta take everything off of this and take a look again. It should be here, but it's not. It's not up here. It's not in here. It's not over here. It's not in my monster parts box. It's not in my other monster parts box. I didn't bury it on here. I don't see it down here. It shouldn't be over here, but I don't see it over here anywhere. I don't know where else to look. The only possibility is the stuff over there in the corner is for my citric acid bath. It's possible it's over there. It's possible it's underneath the Celebrity. That's my only options left. But I did kind of take a look a couple days ago in the corner here. I don't see it over there, so I don't think it's there. But it's possible it might be underneath the Celebrity. And I can check that like right now if I want, but I don't know. I don't know where it is. And I can't continue with the bumper until I find it. My extra large flag. I can't believe how fast that... I've only had that on for 3 days, 4 days, and it's shredding already. A cheap dollar store item. But I got an extra large flag on for Canada Day week. Week before or week after. I don't know. I gotta do something. I gotta get something done today. So I'm going to take the seat off and check the wiring inside, see what's going on. I guess that's it. I'll get back to you. I am so not happy. So I'm waiting for my compressor to stop right now. Once my compressor stops, I will show you why I'm not happy. I now know why the roll bar is leaning backwards. I have to fix this today. Okay, I got the compressor out because I'm going to blow all the dust out of here, but before I do, see that clean spot right there in the dust? If I pull on the roll bar, watch this. The frame is coming apart again, so I have to weld that up today. That's my job for today. I can't let that go. I have to fix that now before it breaks off completely, and then I have to tie the roll bar to the seat to keep it from falling back again. I guess the good part is it's not super hot in here. I don't really want to do that outside. I want to do that in here, so I'm just going to have to pull the monster in, and here we go again. Like I said, it's such a stupid design. They have all the force is on that one little spot in the center there. All the roll bar, all the bars on the back, they're attached at the hinge, and then everything else, that one little point in the center. And I notice when I go out at night, you won't see it on the camera because the camera's moving with the light, but when I'm out at night, I can see because I don't have my bumper light right now, that overhead light is casting a shadow from the tiller on the ground in front of me, and I can see that shadow bouncing around. It's not just moving up and down like it should, it's moving side to side as well, so the roll bar's wobbling all over the place. That would explain why. So I have an unexpected job to do today, apparently. Okay, just as I went to speak, the wind picked up here, so hopefully you can hear me okay. So, I got my angle grinder out and cut the old piece of steel that I welded across the top. This is my original weld. It broke. It's not that I did a bad job, it just broke. It shows how much, oh my goodness, it shows how much tension there is on this joint. That's stupid. You can see the crack all along here. Well, hopefully you can anyways. So I gotta grind the Vita weld across there where that piece was on, and I don't know what else to do. I did have my welding blanket on here, but apparently the heat went through it, and I can't tell if you can see or not. It looks pretty crazy bright here. I don't know if you can see it. That wire melted, that wire melted, that wire melted. So I gotta fix that because the blanket itself heated up and melted the wire underneath it that I was protecting. So I gotta weld that up again, and then I'm gonna weld another piece across the top of it, and I'm gonna put the battery in and see if I can put an extra, because I wanted to do this last time, put a support across here, but that's why I put these little triangle pieces in, just to give it that little extra strength, right? But that didn't seem to make any difference. It broke again anyways, and that's without the extra weight of the second set of batteries on the back, which is what I believe caused it the first time, but now I kind of suspect maybe that's not the problem. So, I don't know. So I had this, I got the jack on the trailer hitch pushing the back, pushing the roll bar up. That's why it's not spread apart, but I don't know, guys. But apparently, this was only welded, this piece that I had on here was only welded at the side. It was only welded to, it didn't do anything. So I gotta fix that problem next time I do this. So I'm gonna clean that up and see what I can do to fix it. Again, as soon as I hit record, wind picks up. Okay. So, I want to clarify something. When I said my weld broke, I don't mean it let go, I mean it actually broke. The weld is still together, like where I welded to the steel is still holding. The weld itself ripped. However, the bead that I had on here, this is off the, let me just kind of grab it here. Ow. This is the part that I had welded on. This weld did let go, the one across the front. And this is where I cut with the angle grinder. I cut along the back bead so that I could, this would free up and I could pull it off. So, as I was grinding away, this would be, I guess, somewhere right about here. As I was grinding away, I ground off the weld on that end first, and then I started grinding this down, and all of a sudden it started moving. So this end of it was not even attached. So that is my weld. That is my weld that failed, which allowed this, I'm guessing, allowed this to move, because this end was not attached. This end was barely attached, which allowed this to move, and which is why the weld broke. So, if you're wondering what these bare wires are here, they're for my cooling fan. Just decided it didn't want to work. So, bottom line is, I gotta do a better welding job this time. But if you remember, that was my first official weld, and I actually thought I did pretty good on it. For most part, I did. It just, that top piece for the extra support just didn't hold. Did not hold at all. So I could do a better job. I'm not going to do one piece this time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a small piece across the center, and then another one across here, and another across here. That gives me more. That gives me six welding beads, I guess. And if I cut on an angle, I can actually weld across the edge of the triangles as well. They'll just give a little extra support. I'm hoping it's that simple. I'm hoping this time it'll be permanent. I don't have time to do this right now. And at the end of this video, I will explain a little bit what's happening. Like I said, I've made 3 videos now, and you know, before I even got to put them in the computer, create a video out of them, they're obsolete. So, but this one, I'll give you an update anyways. It'll probably be obsolete by the time, you know, it makes it to the point where I'm going to be working on it. But it will be part of this video, so whether it's obsolete or not, at least you'll get to see what's going on. Break time already. Okay, so I'm going to stand on this side so I don't cast a shadow. Oh my goodness. So, I can't even see what I'm looking at here. From there to there. You see that? Okay, I'll pull back a bit. Okay. So I did so good at getting the weld back together, I couldn't see where the crack was. Hang on a second. Noisy vehicle. So I put the jack under the trailer hitch, lifted the back up as high as I could, so there's as much force pushing it together as possible. Got it all welded up. Actually, looks like I did a good job this time. I took my time. This side, I couldn't see because it's so bright here. My helmet visor kept dimming on me. I couldn't see anything. So it was kind of a rough start, but I got it together and I tested it. I took the jack out from underneath and I was lifting up and I was pushing down. I stood on the trailer hitch and started bouncing. And I lifted the front of the monster right off the ground, and it's not coming apart, but I did notice the frame itself is twisting, like the bar that I welded it to, you can actually see it twisting, so there's nothing I can do about that. So I'm going to put some supports on it, and then I'm going to stick a battery in and see if I can put a farther out support, because you got the part that comes straight in and the bar that the roll bar is attached to, that corner there. I'm going to see if I can put supports farther out, because I didn't do that before because I figured it would get in the way of the battery. So I'm gonna check, stick a battery in and just see how much room I actually have, just to help keep that from happening again. Oh, taking lots of breaks, but I'm making progress. I'm so glad it's not hot today, because this has to be done. I don't have to do it today. I can put the monster in the garage and, you know, drive the Celebrity till I get around to it, but I don't want to do that. I want to get it done now, because I have a lot of work to do out here, to pack up, so I got to get what needs to be done now. I guess that's it. Back to work. Okay, so I got one side done. I just cut a triangle and made sure it was not to the edge here, and it's about right about there, so I could get some weld on there. And I went nice and slow, made sure I got some really good coverage, penetration into both pieces all the way around. I started with this side and I kind of got messed up, and once I miss on the first one it kind of screws up the rest of it, but I think it's okay. It looks alright, looks good. Now I just got to cut a triangle on this side, do the same thing. I had to bend it because I don't want to grind down the weld. I want to keep that weld there. I think that might be the problem I had last time, because I ground down the weld so I could weld the flat piece across it. I think that might be why the weld broke. There just wasn't enough weld in it. So I just tack welded one side down and then just pounded it with the hammer to form it so that the other side was on the ground. 10 to 6, I hope that's a pager test.
Attention, North Huron Blythe. Fire. This is a pager test.
Yep.
A pager test only. This is the first of a day page test.
Okay. So basically, this is the piece that was welded across it originally. So I'm just reusing this rather than using new steel. And I cut the one piece off, I guess this way. So I already got the part there, the angle, so I'm just going to cut a piece right about there, and then do this side, and then I'll put a piece right in the center, and decide whether I want to try to weld another piece, another brace further out. That's what I want to do, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get to that. I'm worn out. As long as this works, it's gotta work. And I hate that about myself. I never finish a job. I just kind of go, okay, well, that's good enough. And I thought this was good enough last time, and, well, obviously it wasn't. But like I say, I ground down that one weld so that I could get the flat piece across it, and I think that might be part of what's causing the issue. So with these welded on, that's going to help keep the frame from twisting, like I mentioned. And I guess we'll see from there. So, break time's over. Hey, go back to work now. So here's what I got. I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna, ow, sharp edge. I'm not gonna try to put another brace across here, not today. Maybe later. I'm happy with that. That's good and strong. I get good penetration on both sides, both pieces. So that shouldn't break. Keyword being shouldn't. So I'm going to clean it up. I brought my paint and primer out. I'm going to put some primer on it, and once it's almost dried, then I'll put some paint on, and I will leave it at that. However, when I put the electrode on for welding, I noticed there's a crack right there. Dang ribbon. And also, it's on both sides. Oh, maybe not. Maybe that's just paint. Oh no, there's crack. So I have to address this. I'm not doing that today. So, as I got thinking, that might be contributing. Maybe this is kind of bending a little bit. That might be contributing to the roll bar leaning backwards, but I gotta get this rust off of here. I don't have time. I never looked at the other side. I don't know if it's the same or not, but I want to get rid of all this. And that's not gonna happen today. But I got the important. I got the important part done. I gotta clean that up. I thought I had some acetone. I'm sure I bought some last year, but I can't find any, so maybe not. But I'm gonna clean the thermal paste off of the heat sink there, and put some fresh stuff on before I put the. Wow, I have no energy left. It's affecting my talking. Holy smokes. The controller, before I put the controller back on, so there's good heat transfer there. And then before I put everything back together, actually I guess while I'm waiting for the primer to dry, I'm going to check out the wiring and see if I can figure out what's missing, where the wire went, and why my strobe light's not working. But that's all the work I got done for today. Oh, and if you're wondering, if you see these wires hanging out, these are for the heat sink. The cooling fan that's stuffed underneath there. So they're not attached to anything, so they can stay bare and free the way they are. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a fuse here. That runs my 12 volts. I got 5 volts on one side, 12 volts on the other. Yeah, this will be the 12 volt. So this will be the 5. I don't understand. Oh no, one's 24 volts, one's 12. The 5 volt is only for my camera power supply, so that does not go up to here. But I get power from the batteries. It goes directly to one of these. Yeah, this side. And that goes to my 24 to 12 converter, which delivers 12 volts to this side. And this 12 volts is what will go to my strobe light. And as far as I know, that's the only 12 volt item I have on the Monster. I think. I don't remember exactly. But either way, I'm happy with that. I'm just going to clean it up and paint it the way it is. So I already had the air compressor out because I was blowing all the dust out of here before I started. So I just kind of used it and helped the drying process along. So I got all my thermal paste on. That is one tube. So last time I got some, I went to the computer store here in town, and I had this tiny little tube, probably the same, maybe not even the same length as this, but narrower. It's like a toothpaste tube type thing, but miniature. It was $11 for that, and it barely covered that surface. I put it all on and then spread it out so it's all across the whole thing. There's just so little to it. So Ken needed some. Ken replaced the processor in his computer, and he needed some. So I went on Amazon, and I think we got 4 of these big tubes for, I think it was $20, $22, something like that. So I have 3 that I can use. And I figured, well, he needs 1. And that's more than what he needed. And I can use the other 3 to make sure I've got good coverage on the controller when I put it back on. So, first time using it, that was last year I think when I bought these, so my first time using it. I used the entire tube, and well, you can see there's plenty there. So I'm just going to leave the primer. I'm not going to bother putting actual paint on. I don't need to. It's not going to be subjected to salt until next winter. My hair's starting to turn gray. My beard's been gray for a long time. It's the first time noticing my hair. I normally don't have hair. I shave it off. I gotta do that soon. But everything's ready to go here. I just need to start putting everything back together. But I'm gonna give that a few more minutes. There's still a few little wet spots, but I blew noisy traffic. I blew quite a bit of air at that, so it did dry pretty quick. So now, before I start putting everything together, it's 12 volts. So this will go up to the switch. This will come back from the switch, and that's the negative. Oh, which one goes where? Okay, so this is the negative. So that's a double. Positive and negative are separate. Oh, jeez. Because there's 3 wires, or yeah, there may even be 4, I don't know. But there'll be 3 wires, there'll be 2 grounds. Because I got the, oh, I see another crack. That might just be bad weld, I don't know. It's hard to tell. See, that looks like cracks right there. That's just cracks in the paint. But anyways, yeah, positive and negative that go to the light, and there's a 3rd wire. It's a ground wire. That might be why I have a single here. I don't know. But that ground wire, oh, I don't know why I'm going to the back. You can see from the front now. Goes to this little push button switch in here. And when I turn the strobe light on, then it's got whatever flash pattern it starts with. And then I push that ground button, it grounds that 3rd wire. That 3rd connection, that's what changes the flash pattern. So it's got 3 wires. I don't remember if it's grounded up here or if it goes down inside and grounds. I don't know. But like I say, I've got 2 wires here that are missing. And I don't know what they're from. Because I don't see any wires hanging down. I don't see any extra wires inside. I have no idea. I just don't have a clue. But I'm going to try to follow. I'm going to cut all the zip ties off. And I'm going to follow the wires, at least to here anyways. I'm not going to take everything out, just to figure that out. I don't know what I'm doing now. Yeah, see if I can get that going before I start putting everything back together. So one thing I did notice is my heat sink is loose. I stuck my hand underneath and this screw does not have a nut, so the nut fell off of it. And if I remember correctly, there's not a lock nut in there. It's just a regular nut, so it fell off. But it doesn't matter because the controller itself will hold it down, hold it in place. So, it's now 7 o'clock. I'm running out of daylight here soon. The sun's still pretty high in the sky, but I'm running out of daylight. And I'm running out of energy, so I gotta start figuring out the wiring now. I didn't do anything. I cut all the zip ties off, followed the wires, put the controller in, hooked everything up, put the batteries in, tried it, and it's working. I don't get it, but it's working for now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, got everything done. Why am I looking so... There we go. I zoomed in a bit. Got everything done. It's still kind of angled backwards a little bit, but it's just not going anywhere. It's a lot more solid than it was. So I got got everything put back together, and those 2 wires that were missing, I realized there was never wires there. If you remember when I was putting everything together, when I was fixing those wires that were broken originally, I just kind of twisted them together so that they're both come to a point and put heat shrink on them to keep them waterproof. There was never wires sticking out of there. I realized once I started looking at them that there was 2 wires going into that heat shrink tubing. I remembered that. Okay, so that wasn't an issue. Oh my goodness, I gotta sit. I am so done. My day is now complete. I took the monster out for a quick tour. I'm shivering now. Oh, and that killed my spine. Oh, the temperature dropped pretty quick. So I explained my situation now. By the time you see this, it'll probably have changed again. As like I said, I've done this several times. So what's happened is the real estate agent told us the house sold. The next day, our current landlord told us we had till the end of August to vacate. So I consulted a lawyer because, well, first of all, if the house sold, my previous landlord cannot tell us to move out. Only the new owner can. And he told us, I don't remember if Michelle said it was on Facebook or if it was an email, I'm not sure which. Either way, he can't kick us out, and the new owners can't kick us out. The only people that can make us move is the landlord-tenant board, and I've got comments talking about that. Yes, I understand that. So technically, I'm sitting on my air compressor and the plastic just broke. So legally, we don't have to move, okay? Now, the reason that's important to us is because of our low income. It's going to take a while to find something that we can afford, okay? So, the reason I couldn't show the previous videos that I made is because the lawyer told me not to discuss it with my landlord, not to say anything to him. All we need to say is we're not moving. Okay, now, that last video I talked about it, I said a lot of stupid things. I was angry. You think I'd learned my lesson on that. Don't make a video when you're angry. So, like, none of that really meant anything. I was just kind of venting. So, what's happened in the meantime is, well, first of all, we really, really like our landlord. Not the new owner. We don't even know who the new owner is. We know nothing about them or him. So, basically, hello.
Oh, I thought the door was open. I couldn't see it.
Yeah. So, basically, we don't want to cause problems for them. We really like them. They're really, really nice people. They've done so much for us. And I think the reason we were told the end of August, I think that's the closing date. That might be when the sale is finalized. So, like I say, at this point, legally, we have not been told to move, okay? That is on the responsibility of the buyer. Now, the reason I couldn't talk about this to you guys is because I could say whatever I want to you guys, but the problem is, my landlord watches my videos, so, you know, if I talk to you guys in a roundabout way, I'm talking to him, right? But none of that matters now. So here's the thing. The best that we could find, like on short notice, like I say, we got to the end of August, but you know we don't want to wait till the very last minute, right? The best that we could find was a townhouse in Teeswater for $2,000. I'm not sure how many bedrooms it's a garage or anything. I know nothing about it. But that's the best we could find, and that is our maximum So if next year the rent goes up, we can no longer afford it, right? That's her maximum. And it's super hard to find anything, you know, in the price range that we need 3 bedrooms. You know, that raises it up a lot. So we kind of have to take what we can get. Now, here's what's happening. I had mentioned how, you know, they had other tenants that are not paying their rent, and I said, why get rid of the ones that are paying, right? Well, the reason for that is she is the one that's going back to the country she came from. I don't really want to get into the whole story, but she has to go back, and she is the one that owns this house. Now, I think I said before that if she couldn't find a buyer that would let us stay, then he was going to buy the house. Well, one of his other properties suddenly cost him a lot of money, and he can no longer buy this place. So, all the other places he owns, this house she owns. That's why this house is being sold, not the others. Just some clarity on that. And what's happening now is he has a house coming available. I think it's in Teeswater. I'm not absolutely sure on that. I don't want to move to Teeswater. It's too small. There's nothing there. But anyways, if we have to, we have to. In the meantime, he has an apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment in Gorey. Also, nothing there. That we can stay in until this house becomes available. So that looks like what we're going to do. I didn't want to talk about it right away because we're going to go look at it on Saturday. This is Wednesday, I think, or Thursday, I don't even know. It's been a long day today. I kind of lost track of everything. So we're going to go take a look at that and kind of go from there. Because if we go the route we were going to go and refuse to move until legally we have to, then that might, that might cause issues with the new buyer, and he might back out of the deal, and he said, I'm not going to deal with this crap, right, and decide to not sell, and that's going to cause an issue for, you know, our current landlord. So, and again, like I said, we don't want to do that. We really like these people, and, you know, they've been good to us, and unfortunately, Michelle and I both have a conscience. So, I don't know, but, you know, if we go this route, then that means we're going to have to move twice. So, I don't have the energy to move again, and to have to do it twice now. What am I going to do with all this stuff, right? And like today, you know, unexpected emergency repair on the Monster. I can't do that if I'm living in an apartment and all our, you know, important stuff is in storage somewhere, right? Because that's what we're going to do. Anything we don't need, we're just going to put in storage until we move into a house, right? So I gotta be able to fix the Monster on the spot when it needs to be fixed. And that's what's got me upset right now. I need a garage. I have to have a garage. A shed will not work because there won't be room in my shed. Like, look what I've got, right? I got one shelf over there. I got this shelf. I got my new tool thing. I got all this stuff, right? I can put all this in a shed, but I won't be able to put the Monster in the shed, right? And apparently the apartment is upstairs, which means I can't take the scooter. Well, I can't fit the Monster in the house. I can't get it through a standard doorway. The Celebrity I can get through a door, but it's an upstairs apartment. I still can't take it inside, right? And what am I supposed to do? Stay inside for, you know, several months until, you know, we move into another house? Not go anywhere and let both sets of batteries die, right, from drainage. I hate it. I hate it. And I'm not in a good mood right now because of that. Not, like, I specified in the last video, I said, it's not my current landlords I'm upset with. I don't want to move. I can't go through that again, right? So I just want to make sure you understand that. I'm mad at the world, okay? I'm mad at my situation. I'm angry that I have to rely on other people. That's the issue. Because I can't just decide, okay, well, I'll go here, right? We have to take what we can find. And that really, really sucks. That's why I was so excited about getting the Monster. For the first time in my life, I was actually able to buy something that I wanted, not settle for what's available. And, you know, well, that turned out to be a disaster, but that's not the point, right? So that's what's happening right now. I'm not sure what else to really say until we see what's going on and see what the place looks like. I can't make any judgments on anything because I just don't know at this point. But anyways, that's what's going on. So I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I didn't really get video of anything that I did. I just kind of showed updates as I went along doing it. So I don't know how long that's going to be. But anyway, I'm done for today. My day is done. I'm physically done. Oh. I'm going to go inside and probably sleep for 12 hours. I'm going to be in a lot of pain when I wake up. I know that because my back was already sore, and then with the shivering, I just amplified it. So, anyway, that's all I got for this one, guys. I'll keep you updated.